Good evening. My name is Jamie Roots, and I'm president of the Houston Texans. I'm so glad you all joined us tonight for this virtual event celebrating Houston. I'm thrilled to be here to share more about Houston and the incredible developments happening right here in the fourth largest city in America. I'll be your guide here for today's festivities. We'll open with a few words from my good friend, Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. Then our program will follow exploring new developments going on in Houston. We'll take a look at the exponential growth of venture capital activity flowing into Houston. And then we'll close by taking a look at one of the many aspects that makes Houston a great place to live, our green space, which has been an amazing retreat during this crazy time of the pandemic. To set the stage, I should tell you that over the last 2 decades, Houston has undergone a remarkable transformation. Houston is a diverse, vibrant metro driven by a top-tier workforce drawn from around the world. Since our founding, Houston has been built on an undeniable spirit to discover new frontiers and reimagine what a major metro in America looks like. While our shared roots are proudly planted in Texas, Houston's reach and influence is global. Houstonians are helping to solve some of the world's greatest challenges and improving the health and well-being of our planet and everyone who lives on it. Tonight you'll hear from some of the leading voices in the Houston community about the exciting evolution taking place in Houston, Texas. And now I'd like to introduce Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. Mayor Turner, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Jamie, and thank you to everyone joining us for this virtual tour of Houston. I think what you will find is that Houston is an incredibly welcoming and sophisticated global city. And as mayor of Houston, I am always excited to tell Houston's story to people from around the world. Ours is the story of a city that has been leading the way for decades, with breakthrough innovations that have truly changed the world. We are transforming our already incredible economy into one that competes as a leading digital tech city. I like to say we have not just been running to build our innovation ecosystem, we have been sprinting. While Houston remains the energy capital of the world, Houston is much, much more than only oil and gas. Innovators in Houston are leading the charge towards creating a lower carbon future. And earlier this year, we launched the City of Houston's Climate Action Plan, and our innovation ecosystem is developing creative solutions to address these toughest challenges. It is an ambitious effort to ensure Houston will remain the energy capital of the world, and no other city in the world can compete with the energy expertise we have here in Houston, and no other city is better prepared to lead the global energy transition. But Houston is more than energy. We are a key life sciences hub, home to the world's largest medical center, which is caring for patients today and leading research and innovation to care patients into the future. We are the home of human spaceflight with the Johnson Space Center and an incredible aerospace-focused talent base that is leading the evolution to commercial space. And as the top exporting metro in the United States, Houston is a location of choice for advanced manufacturing, along with global logistics and transportation companies who are seeking access to the Americas and markets around the world. I should add that not only is Houston one of the fastest growing regions in the United States, we are also the most diverse big city in America. 1 in 4 Houstonians was born outside of the United States. This brings a unique global perspective to companies who call Houston home. Houston has a young, talented workforce, and in fact, we have the youngest workforce of major United States cities. These professionals come to Houston for our low cost of living, no state or local income taxes, and a strong, diverse economy, all the while enjoying our incredibly high quality of life with world-class culture, green space, sports, and the best culinary attractions. Bottom line, Houston is a global city like none other. We are welcoming and friendly, sophisticated and modern. What we have found is that the more that people see and hear about what is happening in Houston today, the more they are not just running, they are sprinting to get here. I am proud to be the mayor of this great city, and I look forward to welcoming you all here.
Thank you, Mayor Turner. As the mayor said, Houston is a world-class city with a thriving innovation economy. It's where innovation and industry converge to solve the world's biggest problems. Brainpower and entrepreneurial drive combine to provide fertile ground for innovation in the region and across our legacy industries, including energy, life sciences, and aerospace. And thanks to a thriving investment community both in and outside of Houston, we have the resources to move these innovations forward. As the mayor mentioned, partners across the region have been hard at work for the past few years to position Houston as a global hub for digital technology and innovation. A key milestone came just last year when Rice broke ground on a monumental project that is transforming a local landmark into the centerpiece of a thriving innovation district in the heart of Midtown Houston. The Ion is a 300,000 square foot anchor co-working space that will bring together entrepreneurs, corporations, and academic institutions to collaborate under one roof. Let's learn more about this exciting addition to our innovation ecosystem.
Houston, Texas is no stranger to innovation. We're not afraid to roll up our sleeves, take risks, and confront challenges head-on to get the job done. We don't just reach for the stars. We invent the technologies and build the tools that take us directly to them. Innovation and problem-solving are at the core of who we are and who we attract to our community. And they are the catalysts behind our large and growing concentration of tech talent and unique convergence of industries. Right in the heart of the 4-mile-long innovation corridor stretching from downtown Houston to the world's largest medical district, the Texas Medical Center, is the site of a transformational project that will serve as a nucleus for Houston's fast-growing, diverse, and inclusive innovation ecosystem. In early 2019, Rice University announced the development of a 16-acre innovation district that will encompass more than 5 million square feet of creative office, multifamily residential, retail, restaurant, hotel, and public park space open to all Houstonians. The district is anchored by the renovation of a historic Sears building into a 300,000 square foot collaboration hub known as the Ion. Over $100 million will be invested by Rice University into the Ion to catalyze a district that will set a new standard of urbanism, connectivity, and inclusivity in Houston. Set to open in early 2021, the Ion is a collaboration space designed to inspire people to accelerate innovative and tech-forward solutions for the challenges facing the world. Rice University's goal is to increase collisions between the region's entrepreneurial, corporate, and academic communities. The Ion will support businesses at all stages of the innovation lifecycle and provide resources for Houstonians seeking to participate in the innovation economy. Academic and corporate partners will be immersed in a robust and diverse environment of accelerators, workforce development programming, cross-university collaborations, and resources for entrepreneurs. We are building our innovation ecosystem, one entrepreneur at a time. And the Ion and Houston's Innovation District are just one exciting part of this community-wide effort.
As you can see, the Ion is going to be an exciting addition to Houston's innovation ecosystem. It's also another great example of the infrastructure in place to support a robust tech and innovation community. As our startup ecosystem expands, so too does our presence of venture capital funding. Houston is a rising digital technology powerhouse with considerable growth in VC funding. In fact, 2019 was an exceptional year in terms of deal size, as well as the emergence of Houston's first unicorn, High Radius. And 2 years ago, the HX Venture Fund launched with $25 million contributed from 9 corporate limited partners. This unique fund of funds has since grown to 18 limited partners. Joining us now to tell you more is Sandy Guitar, Managing Director of the HX Venture Fund, along with Mitchell Green from Lead Edge Capital and Scott Maxwell from Open View Venture Partners.
My name is Sandy Guitar, and I am a Managing Director at the HX Venture Fund, alongside Guillermo Borda, who founded the firm about 2 years ago. I think Houston is positioned to be a top city for investment because it has both the talent and the capital that we need. We're also at the perfect time right now for an inflection point. And by that I mean we have developed the talent ecosystem here. We have the startup development organizations that can support the entrepreneur in their growth. And now with HX Venture Fund, we also have the capital coming in. Across our 11 investments, that is a collective $4 billion of capital seeking investment across the US, but specifically with Houston on the map. We've actually seen tremendous success here in the last several years. It's gone so much faster than I had ever had imagined. I think the time is right for bringing venture capital into Houston. HX Venture Fund is a venture capital fund-to-fund backed by many of Houston's top corporates, the likes of Shell, Chevron, Insperity, LyondellBasell, and Houston Methodist, a whole range of companies from a whole range of tech sectors. Our limited partners allow us to invest in multiple venture capital firms, each of whom invest in high-tech growth startups here in the Houston ecosystem.
So OpenView Venture Partners invests in small business-to-business software companies. We call it expansion stage. We're Boston-based. We invest really anywhere in the world as long as a company has a strong North American customer market focus.
Lead Edge is a software internet investment firm. We tend to invest in companies at the small end that are kind of 10 to 15 million of revenues, up to companies that have several hundred million of revenues. We invest globally. Companies definitely do not need to only be focused in North America. We have several investments in Europe. We have several investments in Asia.
We've been investing in venture capital, Guillermo Borda and I, for the last 20 years. And so we have some sense of what's been going on in the industry. And really, we are at an inflection point, we believe, in the VC industry, whereby VCs are seeking to connect with significant corporates in order to develop a tech ecosystem that supports their underlying portfolio companies. And that's exactly what Houston has to offer.
Why Houston? There are cities across America where it is affordable to live and raise a family. You know, New York City and Boston and San Francisco do not make the list. Austin used to be, but it's not anymore. Versus think about like Houston or Indianapolis, and you know, some of these cities have great schools, great towns, great quality of life, great culture, great sports, and people. I think more and more. I think if anything, this pandemic is going to show that people, you can work from anywhere and build companies anywhere. You don't have to be in New York or San Francisco, and so I think that is attractive. And I think in any city where there's lots of big companies that could be potential customers, it is a natural place for startups to be able to build relationships with those companies. I also find people in Texas in general are just hugely helpful to one another. Most people in San Francisco or New York.
My view on Houston is, first of all, it's a big city. It's very cosmopolitan. It's got some great sports and great entertainment of various kinds. And obviously some really great companies and universities and so on. And when you have all those ingredients, it's a matter of stirring them together and trying to kind of connect people and make it work, both locally and at the national level. And I think you guys are doing that, and my hat's off to you guys.
I also think that Houston is a really unique place to work, and the quality of life here is amazing. And unlike anywhere else with a vibrant tech ecosystem. So when you bring together the global nature of the people that make up Houston, and the diversity of entertainment, the fun, the quality of life, the standard of living that we can offer here, the geographic proximity, the weather, these are all the reasons that we think this is a great place to live and work.
Thank you, Sandy, Mitchell, and Scott. Up next is a personal favorite of mine, as I believe one of the greatest assets of Houston is the outstanding quality of life we Houstonians enjoy. You might be surprised to learn that Houston is one of the greenest cities in the nation and is home to 2 of the nation's 10 largest urban public parks. Houstonians love being outside, and the great news is Houston is on its way to become a whole lot greener. Several new parks and green space developments are in the works and set to be completed by the end of the year. Once finalized, 60% of Houstonians will live within 1.5 miles of a green space. As the pandemic continues to drive a need for green space, more and more people are looking to capitalize on community parks, and Houston is up for the challenge.
A truly global city, Houston is home to residents from around the world. Our diversity creates a genuine cultural identity and a way of life that is uniquely Houston and world-class. We offer the cultural, recreational, and entertainment amenities of a big city, but at a cost of living well below the national average. Recognized as a culinary capital, Houston delivers its reputation with over 11,000 restaurants and bars, representing over 70 countries and domestic regions. James Beard award-winning chefs bring their unique fusion styles to tables across the city. Relish an upscale dining affair with the flavors of Mexico or Thailand. Enjoy an original cocktail in the heart of a Montrose district, or taste a local brew from one of our many local breweries overlooking our downtown skyline. Houston truly has it all. You may also be surprised to learn that Houston is one of America's greenest cities. Our region boasts 500 miles of interconnected bikeways, 380 developed city parks, and 170 open spaces. And we're not stopping there. Through the investments of Houston's top corporate and civic leaders, by the end of this year, more than 3,000 acres of unused land will have been converted to public park space. The transformation of Houston's Memorial Park is one of the largest and most visionary urban parks projects currently underway in the U.S. Memorial Park's 100-acre Eastern Glades opened this summer as a park within a park that features wetlands, a 5-acre lake, trails, and plenty of space to play. One of the more remarkable features of the master plan is the land bridge that will connect each of the prairie wetlands on either side of Memorial Drive with a 30-foot-high land arc. Always on the move, Houston prides itself for the dynamic and cutting-edge new technologies and innovations in architecture, infrastructure, and design. From the transformation of a downtown parking lot into the wildly popular 12-acre Discovery Green Park, to the $460 million expansion of the Museum of Fine Arts Houston by acclaimed architect Stephen Hall. This is where the world's brightest minds converge to define 21st century urbanism. As Houston is transformed into a modern, sophisticated city with rich cultural amenities, global cuisine, and lush green spaces, we have remained welcoming and humble. There's more to this great city than work. Houstonians live well and play hard. It's true, the grass is getting greener in Houston, Texas, and we invite you to join.
As you can see, there's a lot happening in Houston through the many investments we are making in our future. We wish we could meet face to face and hope to meet you soon. Hopefully, this brief program helped illustrate the exciting things that are happening here in our city. Houston is a remarkable global city. We are collaborative and are driven by a can-do spirit. We are a city that welcomes all backgrounds. If you have drive, ambition, and you're willing to work hard, you will have the opportunity to succeed in Houston. We would love for you to come check us out. For more information on Houston and the opportunities that abound here, visit us at houston.org. Very simple, houston.org. Thank you for the time today, and we look forward to seeing you soon.